I've got this big scratch on my hardwood floor and I have company coming in a week. How am I gonna get this fixed? Welcome to U-Floor, Flooring Tips and Tricks. Today we're going to be talking about how to repair a damaged board in the middle of your hardwood. So if you ever installed hardwood, or if you've ever had hardwood installed and you find that you have a defect in the middle of your floor, you're like, oh no, what do I do? We're on the job and we're installing 3/4 inch hardwood. We are very particular about the boards that we put in our floor, and we search them very thoroughly for cracks, for discoloration, for chips, and also sometimes they will have blemishes and the factory will put some of that putty stuff in there. We try not to put any of those in and then box those back up. Maybe the customer can take them back and get their money back if we fill up a whole box. But sometimes we miss things, and it's not until later on when the light's shining on it you see, oh, we missed that. It has a hairline crack, or maybe just the corner of the board has been chipped out. And when that happens, it's got to go. It's time to cut it out. Today we're going to show you how to cut that board out and replace it with a new one. So stay tuned.
Okay, so right here it looks like part of the wood grain, but it's actually a hairline crack. We marked it with a Sharpie so we could find it later when it was time to cut it out. I tried to find a board that was the exact length. Sometimes you get lucky, but in this case, I had to take one that was a little bit bigger. I started by making 2 lines across the entire board to dig out a channel so that I can pull out the board in 3 pieces. If you have tape, it's always wise to tape on both sides of the board that you're cutting out. I didn't have any on hand, so that is why I'm plunge cutting this all the way across, so that I can go straight down and straight back up. It takes a little bit longer. Tape would be nice. Alright, so after I cut 2 lines across, the only way to really dig this out is to cut that board in half with your chisel and dig that middle piece out. Now when it comes to digging the other 2 sides out, you may have to dig those out into small pieces until you can get them both completely out without any interference. After I got all the board out, it's time to cut the paper out and clean this baby up. I scraped all the wood that was chipped up inside and shop vacuumed it up really nice and clean. I measured the hole in between. It was 23 and 3/16. So I went to my board and pulled 23 and 3/16 and I cut it off flush. Now on the groove side underneath, I want to cut that part out. I won't need it. So I lowered the blade just enough so I could cut that bottom piece of the wood out. See? Next I raised the blade and then I tilted it about 2 degrees. I brought it over. Now on this is very important. I don't cut the side that has the groove. I cut the side that has the tongue. And I cut it at a slight angle. Although I don't cut it all the way to the top of the board, I want to leave some of that meat at the top so that when I go to put it on the floor, I have something to bang against. They taught us this trick in a class a couple weeks ago. They said they used the tape that had the strings in it, but I had duct tape on hand. So this will actually be my first time trying it. We'll see if it works. But anyway, the idea is to put the tape on the back side of it, and then you can dry fit it in to see if it's tight or if it needs to be shaved or if it's just right. I got it close and then I inspected it. As you can see, it's a little bit tight on the right side and doesn't want to go completely down, but it's a little bit gappy on the left side. I need to sand it down. Wow, that worked great. Huh. Pretty good tip. You can use that. Anyway, so on the side that was a little bit tight, I went over and I sanded that side down just a little bit, and then I worked it over to the other side to kind of keep it straight. I still have that flat side over there to pound with my mallet. Alright, I put the tape back in. Just want to dry fit it one more time. I'll tell you what, I think that looks good. Alright, so I pulled it back out and I used some liquid nails. Well, now this is not really liquid nail, the brand. I'm not sure. This is a Loctite type glue. It has the 3X on the side of it. I'm told it's a really good glue, so that's what I used. I put my board back in there. This will be permanent this time, and I pounded it in with my mallet against that flat side that I told you about. That looks pretty good. I almost don't want to put nails in it. Here, take a look for yourself. Pretty tight fit. The glue will actually hold it. I just nailed 2 nails on both sides to hold it down until the glue dries. And then I take a matching putty and putty over my nail holes. Nobody will ever see or ever know that I even replaced this board.
Hey, thanks for watching, you guys. We really appreciate it. Hit the like button. It really does help us out with the algorithm and so that our channel grows. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I put out a new video.
If you have any questions about this video, or if you have any questions about another topic you'd like to see a video on, leave them in the comments.